So my grandma raised me, Thank you. Yeah, yeah. Powerful woman. She raised me, and we didn't grow up with a lot of money, but she made sure to buy at least 2 Barbie dolls for me so I could play. Most of my friends had at least 4. So 2 was a big deal. Because 4 or 2 was already enough. And I got Barbie, not the off-brand Darby. So it was like. But when it came out that there were Asian Barbie dolls on the market, I begged my grandma to get me one, I was like, please, Grandma, I want a doll that looks like me, I want to play with a doll that looks like me, These blonde bitches don't understand the struggle. They don't even bend the right way for me, to understand, My grandma was like, we can't afford that. No, just color your Barbie's hair black. So I did, I took a Sharpie, I pinned my Barbies down, and I colored their hair black. And I drew around their eyes and colored the pupils in so they could look more Asian. Yeah. My Barbies look like little Hot Topic girls, They look scary, actually. My friends would come over and they'd be like, Atsuko, you're so emo. I'm like, no, I'm broke, bitch. Why were Asian dolls so hard to come by, The other big brand of dolls that was around in my childhood was American Girl dolls. Do you guys remember them? They're still around. American Girl. Yeah, the dolls that represent girls of America, right? Yeah, I hear that laugh. I know. They didn't have an Asian doll, the original. They did have a black doll, though. Do you remember? Yeah, Addie. She was a slave girl. Yeah. In our lifetime, 18 years ago, Addie, the only black doll they had, was a slave girl. Yeah, what the fuck, right? Yeah. But that's the one I related to the most, because she was an outsider. I was like, I'm not some Parisian bitch. I'm not Molly, She came with a baguette in her box. But since then, American Girl, the company, has been trying to diversify. So now they have, for example, a doll that comes with a needle. Yeah. No, seriously, yeah. Because she's diabetic. Yeah. For real, yeah. Yeah, which makes sense, because what's more American than diabetes? You know what I mean? So, but it's because of a childhood like that I worry when, someone like Scarlett Johansson gets cast as an Asian character in a movie, right? Yeah, boo. Because I worry that little girls are sitting at home thinking it's okay, they're being represented that way. You know what I mean? Just like, oh, I guess that's what I have to grow up to look like, Scarlett Johansson. The movie's supposed to come out soon. So if you don't know, Scarlett Johansson in 2016 was cast in a movie called Ghost in the Shell. And Ghost in the Shell is originally a Japanese animation, right? Set in Japan, right? But it was made into a live action version, and they cast Scarlett Johansson as the lead. Yeah. Now, cartoons can be tricky, right? To cast because the characters are drawn, so it can be interpreted, the casting, right? That's what people argue. It can be interpreted, because the characters are drawn. Now, so Scooby-Doo, right? Scooby-Doo was an animation that was made into a live action. Remember? Yeah, with an all-white cast. But Scooby-Doo is a TV show about people who say things like yikes and hunt for ghosts. So of course it was going to be an all-white cast. You know what I mean? That makes sense, But when the character you're casting for, when her name is Motoko Kusanagi, probably should have been an Asian person, Probably, Japanese to be accurate, but I'll take any Asian, you know? They should have cast a real Asian for that role. They should have cast a real Asian, like Emma Stone, you know? But but apparently she was shooting La La Land, so she couldn't do it. I watched La La Land. La La Land is about Emma Stone bombing a bunch of auditions and not getting roles, if you haven't seen it. And I was like, wow, they must have not been sending her out to Aloha Part 2 because she would have gotten that really fast, you know? I hope they make a Aloha Part 2. I hope they do. Konnichiwa, you know, call it Konnichiwa, the Aloha sequel. Put Emma Stone and Scarlett Johansson in it, you know, and make it an all Japanese spoken film, you know, so that they'll both be lost in translation.